Following the tragic loss of Chadwick Boseman, many Marvel fans were wondering what the future of both the Black Panther series and the Avengers will look like, and how this sudden passing would affect the franchise. There have been numerous calls for the sequel of Black Panther to focus on Shuri, T'Challa's sister, to take over as the Queen of Wakanda and main character of the film. Shuri was portrayed by Letitia Wright, who was expected to return for the second installment, and as per the comic books, she would be slated to take over for T'Challa, who was portrayed beautifully by Boseman. To no surprise, given how sudden and recent the loss still is, it seems Disney is still trying to figure out how to move forward. The second Black Panther was expected to be released in May of 2022, and although it appears as if the script was more or less done, meaning they were likely going to head into production relatively soon. With the loss of Boseman and the pandemic, who knows how the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe will be affected. Today on Life's Biggest Questions, we're asking, will Black Panther be written out of the Avengers? How's it going, guys? I'm your host, Jared Bronstein, and once again, we're talking about the future of the MCU. As always, feel free to drop some questions you'd want to see on our channel, and stick around for some comment replies at the end of this one, but for now, let's get right into it. Following the sudden passing of the late Boseman, actors, directors, executives at Marvel, and fans of the actor and hero were all mourning. Numerous tweets, statements, and videos were shared, posted, and really signified how much of an impact the man had, not only in the MCU, but the world in general. He was a real-life superhero for people all over the world, and the significance of the first Marvel Black superhero movie will be forever in the history books. The sad reality is, as we've seen in the past when actors in film and TV pass away, the show must go on. To no surprise, this is going to be the case with the Black Panther series, as Disney is still expected to go ahead and produce the film. The only question they have is which direction are they going to head in? Will they find a replacement for T'Challa, Boseman's character, or have Shuri be the next lead and Queen of Wakanda? It's possible Michael B. Jordan reprises his role as Killmonger and they decide to rewrite the story around him. As of now, nothing is set in stone, and although it's possible they axed the idea of a sequel altogether, given how successful the movie was, I have a very strong feeling Disney is going to go ahead with the production, as they don't want to leave any money on the table. In the past, we've seen Marvel films recast for previous characters. They did it with the Hulk replacing Ed Norton with Mark Ruffalo, and Iron Man replacing Terrence Howard in favor of Don Cheadle to play War Machine. Other times, when high-profile actors such as Carrie Fisher, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Paul Walker passed away, all three productions found ways of working around the sudden losses. Star Wars director J.J. Abrams used footage from a previously filmed production, The Force Awakens, to fill in Fisher's scenes. Francis Lawrence of The Hunger Games decided to rewrite some of Hoffman's final scenes and change the story, using other characters for everything to make sense. James Wan, who directed the Fast and Furious film featuring Walker, decided to use some CGI, old footage, and Walker's own brother as a stand-in to complete his scenes. Three different sudden losses and three different ways of moving forward with the production. So it's not a question of if it's possible, but more so how. But it really isn't just as easy as how. Of course, a decision does need to be made regarding the Black Panther sequel, but given how recent the loss happened, I don't think many are in the best headspace to focus on such a daunting question. Unfortunately though, time is definitely of the essence, as Disney, or Marvel, has a schedule of films they need to follow, and if one production gets pushed back, that means all the others are postponed as well. Given that all the movies tie in together, one way or another, it certainly leads to a ripple effect if the production takes more time than expected to complete the film. And of course, whatever direction they decide to go in regarding the future of the Black Panther franchise will likely determine what or how things play out in the Avengers films, and the Marvel Cinematic Universe altogether. As previously mentioned, they have yet to start production for the Black Panther 2, so the idea of trying to piece together the film with old footage of Boseman is likely out the door. All in all, it seems given how big of a symbol the hero and actor was, odds are, out of respect, they will leave things as they are. But the sad truth is, as I mentioned before, there's just too much money to be made for Disney and Marvel executives to think about respect. It genuinely is the harsh, cold reality that instead of retiring the Black Panther franchise and superhero, they will find a way, somehow, to continue on without Boseman at the helm of the franchise. Of course, this decision will decide how things play out in the future Avenger films. It's possible they create a storyline about the Black Panther, and have a stunt double suit up, engage in a fight sequence of sorts, and sacrifice himself for the greater good of humanity or the other Avengers. Maybe they hold the ceremony for him in the film as the superheroes in a way to pay respects both to the man himself and the character he portrayed so well. All in all, they will certainly find a way to incorporate the loss of the hero into the future of their films, one way or another. I can't say for sure if he'll be written out, as they may want to continue using the character as a symbol of kinds in the films. And again, given the direction that they go in will determine the answer to this question. If they decide to rewrite the sequel and focus on T'Challa's sister, Shuri, then it is quite possible that she eventually joins the Avengers team and becomes one of the newest additions to the Marvel mega lineup, replacing her late brother brother in the series. Or if they decide to go with Killmonger, maybe he becomes a hero instead of the film's villain, and decides to team up with the Avengers. Given that a new Avengers film has yet to be confirmed, as of now everything is purely speculation. And with how recent Boseman's passing occurred, it's just made these decisions even more complicated. When speaking on Boseman's sudden passing, Ryan Coogler, the film's writer and director, wrote, I quote, "I spent the last year preparing, imagining, and writing words for him to say that we weren't destined to see. It leaves me broken knowing that I won't be able to watch another close-up of him in the monitor again, or walk up to him and ask for another take." The two men were very close, as was Michael B. Jordan, who played Killmonger. So I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that if these two men, Jordan and Coogler, are still a part of the franchise moving forward, they will do everything in their power to not only pay tribute and respects to the late actor, but ensure his legacy as a hero in the films is also cemented. How they do that, of course, is to be determined. As of this recording, the order of upcoming Marvel films in Phase 4, which have been confirmed, include Black Widow, The Eternals, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, Untitled Spider-Man 3, Thor Love and Thunder, and Black Panther 2. Ant-Man 3 and Captain Marvel 2 are also slated for release in 2022, but Avengers 5 has yet to be mentioned or confirmed. Now again, given the situation, all of these movies may need to be slightly adjusted or rewritten to accommodate the direction that Disney and Marvel decide to go in. Marvel also has the Disney original shows that are expected to be released over the next few years, although it doesn't seem like they're going to be intertwined with the cinematic universe, so that shouldn't affect things too much. At the end of the day, the Black Panther was a part of the original Avengers, led by Iron Man, but it seems there is going to be a new wave of superheroes and leaders to take on the next phase, and a group of heroes known to be part of the Avengers team. Another interesting factor worth mentioning, it was widely expected that the announcement of a playable Black Panther character in the new Marvel Avengers game was going to be announced on September 1st, just days after Boseman's sudden passing. However, in a tweet shared by user @Went343, you can see the game developers decided to switch things up last minute. The tweet reads, I quote, "So the Avengers War Table had this at the beginning of the stream. Looks like Black Panther's gonna be in the game at some point as a tribute to Chadwick Boseman. Love to see it." Attached were 4 screenshots of what the stream showed, which was a beautiful tribute to the late Boseman. Aside from the Black Panther logo and smiling photo in memory of Boseman, the stream also had a written message. I quote, "Like many of you, we were shocked and saddened by Chadwick Boseman's passing. As members of the global Marvel family, our thoughts are with his loved ones in this difficult time. Please join us for a moment of silence in memoriam." Another screenshot read, I quote, "Marvel's Avengers fans, out of respect for a fallen true hero, we have altered what we are showing today. We know you understand and are with us in commemorating him." It was then announced that Kate Bishop will be the next character to join the game ahead of Hawkeye, as the two will be a part of the first major update to the game. It's yet to be determined if the Black Panther will be a playable character in the Marvel's Avengers game, but it seems they will likely include his character out of respect, and it's quite possible Marvel decides to leave things there. Ultimately, we need to wait and see what decisions the executives at Marvel and Disney decide. It seems quite evident a fan favorite move would be to focus on Shuri taking over Wakanda, and odds are very few actors would want to step in and try to fill the shoes of the incredible and everlasting performance Boseman left with us. Although not likely, you never know what can happen, and they may try to recast the role of T'Challa, although I really don't see it happening. Either way, you guys gotta let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. Let me know how you guys feel if they were to replace T'Challa, or simply have Shuri take over and have her become part of the Avengers team moving forward. For now, let's reply to some comments from the video. Did Donald Trump really have a stroke? Stephen Vale said, "Never liked Biden or Trump, honestly, both are bad for different reasons." Yeah, I think it's a bit of an issue that it seems like year after year, for the most part, a lot of the elections for president of the United States has truly been the lesser of two evils. It's like between Hillary and Trump, a lot of people say they voted for Trump because they just thought Hillary was more corrupt and evil. Now it seems like people are saying that Biden is an awful candidate, but they're going to vote for him because they just don't want Trump for another 4 years. The sad reality is America, or American citizens rather, appear to be stuck between a rock and a hard place, in the sense that regardless of who wins the election, they really can't win, and they are simply voting for the lesser of two evils, whoever that may be in their eyes. Milky Murderer said, "Here, take this sword, defend yourself from the triggered people who don't respect other people's opinions." Well, that's the whole internet. You say anything against Trump, come and attack you. You say anything against Biden, and you're called a racist. So, you can't really win, especially when it comes to politics. The second you say anything about anything, the people that disagree with you will just call you names and attack you and tell you why you're wrong. Because, it's not like we live in a democracy where you could say what's on your mind and not be attacked for it. No, that's God forbid, right? Rob T said, "Trump doctor in his pocket, of course he'll lie on his behalf." See, that's what some people were saying, and that is a valid argument. Again, doctors have actually lied because Trump asked them to lie about things. Can't remember off the top of my head, but one of the doctors said that I think he was in perfect health when that wasn't the case. It was something like that. Don't quote me because I don't know for sure. Yes, it is possible, but again, I find it very, very, very hard to believe that a doctor would give up his integrity as a professional just, for large sums of money. But again, people do anything for money. There's a lot of things that people will sell out for. I just hope that someone in the medical field would not lie about something as important as the President of the United States' health. But again, like you said, you never really know. So hopefully that's not the case. I'm sure the truth will come out sooner than later because it always does eventually come out. And hopefully this doctor was telling the truth. And hopefully Trump didn't suffer many strokes, because regardless of my political opinion and how I feel about how he runs the country, I would never wish harm or illness upon anybody. So we'll leave it at that, guys. I've been your host, Jared Bronstein. As always, let us know your thoughts on this video in the comments down below. Any questions you may have that you want answered, be sure to drop them in that comment section down below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.